Welcome to Comic Power. I am your host, Comic Killer 72, and this is a highly anticipated video called The Top 10 Comics of 2018. Before we get started, let's go over some rules, shall we? Rule number 1. This is for comics that have been released between December 14th, 2017 and December 14th, 2018. Rule number 2. This is for releases released in North America only, no foreign markets or anime or anything like that. Rule number 3. This is not limited to superheroes. It can include other types of fiction. For example, there's a real-world crime drama that's in the top 5 that you'll see later. Rule number 4, this list reflects my personal taste, so if you don't like the top 10 and you think something's missing, go down to the comments and post your own top 10. Please note there will be an honorable mention list on here as well, so it actually will be a top 25 list. Thank you for listening to all of that setup. Now I present to you, without any further ado, the top 10 comics of 2018. Number 10. Catwoman number 1 from DC Comics. In this reboot, Selina Kyle has to investigate an imposter who's doing crimes around Gotham. This picks up right after the whole Batman and Catwoman getting married thing. What makes this even more interesting is this incarnation of Catwoman is written and drawn by Joelle Jones. She made my list of one of the top 10 female comic book artists in the game right now. I made a video about that. See a link in the description. There's very few creators working for the big two that do both writing and drawing on a title, and she's the only woman I can think of that works for a major that's doing it. Joelle made a name for herself on Lady Killer from Dark Horse Comics back in 2015, the story of Josie Schuler, a housewife by day but a contract killer by night. It made my list of one of the top 10 comics of 2015. Link also in the description. So for Joelle to come over to DC Comics and do Catwoman is just a good fit with a female-led crime drama. The Catwoman character is one of the most popular in terms of cosplay, but the comic is great too, and you should be checking it out. Number 9. And that's going to be the Immortal Hulk number 1 from Marvel Comics. In this incarnation of the Hulk, we get something that's a little less comic booky and more of his horror roots. Bruce Banner winds up getting killed in a convenience store robbery, but his corpse turns into the Hulk and seeks revenge on the biker gangs who did. Making his debut way back in 1962, the Hulk has always been one of my favorite characters. You will enjoy this version of the Hulk if you like something like the Swamp Thing. It's something like that. As you can see, the interior art is phenomenal. When you look at the black and white sketches, they're just great. So you have the Hulk returning to his roots. The art is phenomenal. What else could you ask for? If you missed this, go ahead and find this and pick this up. Number 8. And that's going to be Motherlands number 1 from Vertigo, which is a division of DC Comics. You probably never heard this sci-fi action comedy, but you missed a great one. It's the story of a portal jumping female bounty hunter, but she's only catching small-time fugitives and barely getting by. But there's a highly wanted fugitive out there with a price tag that's enough for her to retire on. The problem is that fugitive is using outdated portal jumping technology, so nobody is able to catch him. The only person that has this outdated technology is her mother, who's a retired bounty hunter. But her and her mom don't speak, they don't have a good relationship, and she has to crawl back begging to her. And of course her mom lays down the guilt trip. You don't call, you don't visit, and now you're here. I had a lot of fun reading this. You can go ahead and pick up the trade paperback. It's a mini series, so you can get the whole collection. I would describe it as Total Recall meets The Odd Couple meets Cagney and Lacey. If that sounds interesting to you, go out there and find it. I loved it. Number 7. And that's going to be The Amazing Spider-Man issue 798, which is the first full appearance of the Red Goblin. Technically, it's not a new character. It's Norman Osborn who took the Green Goblin formula and mixed it with the symbiote genetic code. And boom, there you have it. A little bit of Goblin and a whole lot of crazy carnage all in one package. Marvel is really going out of its way to create these mashup characters, but it's selling toys, it's selling comics, and it's good source material for future movies. The Spider-Man universe is red hot right now. The animated Spider-Verse movie was incredible, and the first trailer for the Far From Home live action movie had the whole internet buzzing. Number 6. And that's going to be Rick and Morty presents The Vindicators number 1 from Oni Press. Rick and Morty is probably the most influential adult animated series of the 2010s. And Oni Press was smart enough to swoop in early before it got very popular and get the comic book rights. And these newly created guest stars to the show are becoming very popular spin-offs in their own right. The Vindicators make their first appearance on the animated show. They proved so popular that they spin them off into this comic. It's supposed to be a spoof of a little bit of the Avengers, a little bit of Justice League, Guardians of the Galaxy, and the Teen Titans. And their arch enemy is a Thanos-inspired character called the World Ender. Not only is issue number 1 a great read if you like spoofs of superheroes, but I think it's a great investment as well. I could see an animated movie of the Vindicators coming out one day, and I'll be first in line to see it. How about you? As for now, make sure you grab a copy of the comic. Number 5. And that's going to be Versus, number 1 from Image Comics. And just like Motherlands, which I ranked at number 8, this is an overlooked gem. It's a dystopian future where private armies wage war in front of a television audience with corporate sponsors. The lead character is a man named Sada Flynn. He's probably the most famous combatant to ever participate in these games. But age is catching up to him, plus injuries, and he's a step too slow now. It kind of reminds me of Troy Polamalu in his last year with the Pittsburgh Steelers before he retired. The powers that be want to pull the string on him, but his ratings are actually going up and people are watching him more than ever now. If you're a fan of action, dystopian sci-fi, then this is for you. It's like American Gladiators meets The Hunger Games meets the NFL in an authoritarian universe like Judge Dredd. This genre may be overdone, but this is one of the best ones I've ever seen about it. This is issue number 1 of an incredible 5-part miniseries which you should have in your collection. Number 4. And that's going to be the Cosmic Ghost Rider number 1 from Marvel Comics. Strap on your seatbelt because this one gets completely crazy in a good way. First of all, this is an alternative Marvel universe which is TRN 666. Thanos has showed up to Earth to destroy all. You know, it's what he does. It's part of the job description. And Frank Castle, aka the Punisher, is killed by falling debris from a building that the Hulk was thrown into. Now dead, Frank Castle signs a deal with the demon Mephisto to become the latest Ghost Rider. He returns to Earth to try to seek revenge on Thanos, but everything is gone, everything is destroyed, nothing is left. He can't even get in touch with Mephisto. It looks really, really bad. Then one day, Galactus shows up. Yeah, the big purple guy. And he's looking for help from the Earth's heroes to take on Thanos, not knowing that they are already dead. Of course, Galactus runs across the Ghost Rider and he cuts him a deal to give him cosmic power because they both want to take out Thanos. So now he's the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Upgraded to the Ghost Rider by Mephisto, updated to Cosmic by Galactus. So now you can read it and it will make some sense now. This is not the first appearance of the Cosmic Ghost Rider. He actually first appeared in Thanos Volume 2, number 13. The Cosmic Ghost Rider is the brainchild of Donny Cates. He's the same creator of God Country. That's the book I ranked number 1 of 2017. He's now become the go-to guy for horror, action, science fiction. Marvel really has something working here with the Cosmic Ghost Rider. Expect to see this character a lot now and in the future. Number 3. And that's going to be Death or Glory, number 1 from Image Comics. This is the story of a woman who actually is named Glory, who grows up in a community of truckers. They live off the grid. They don't have social security numbers or anything. Their motto is live free or die. Then one day her father gets sick. He needs a new liver, and if he doesn't get it, he's gonna die. So to come up with the money, she decides to rob organized crime outfits, and things go horribly wrong. This is a brilliant real-world crime action drama, which was created and written by Rick Remender. If you remember him, he made my list of one of the top 10 writers in comics right now. Link in the description. I don't have enough time to detail every critically acclaimed series he's written, but he's best known for Deadly Class at the moment, which has been developed into a live-action television series on the Sci-Fi Network. As for Death or Glory, this should be a movie. It has pulse-pounding action. It's a real page-turner. If this becomes a film and I had my choice for the lead, I would cast Rooney Mara to play Glory. She's the real-life partner of fellow actor Joaquin Phoenix, and she's best known for starring opposite Daniel Craig in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. Hollywood, I just did you a favor casting a can't-miss action film. And by the way, the art is done by a French artist that goes by one name, Bengal, and he's fantastic. If you missed this, add this to your collection now. Number 2. We can't have a list without some Batman in it. At number 2, we have Batman Damned, number 1 by DC Comics. This is a division of DC's Black Label imprint, where they handed over their holy trinity of Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman to critically acclaimed creator teams to do odd continuity stories. A Wonder Woman story written by Kelly Sue DeConnick, Batman by Brian Azzarello, and Superman by Frank Miller. The Azzarello story takes Batman back to his detective Dark Knight roots. And the artwork by Lee Romero is nothing short of incredible. But all of that got overshadowed by the 800-pound gorilla in the room, and that is Bat Penis. Yes, we have to talk about Batman's junk. Now's a good time to add facepalm meme. Okay, there you go. As you probably already know by now, there's a scene in the comic where Batman undresses in silhouette, but you can clearly see his dick graces. Since my channel is PG-13, I will only be showing edited images of it. So basically, DC gave us full frontal porn, which added nothing to the story. Once the controversy and backlash came, DC issued an apology of regret and stated that all future printings in digital will be edited. As you might expect, the original first print unedited version is going for a pretty penny. A 9.8 CGC is already selling for over $100 despite a high print run. There's precedent for this, and DC should have knew better. Back in the day on the Marvel Knights imprint on Elektra issue number 3, there was controversy about Elektra being too naked in this image. It too was recalled, and future printings added more clothes to her. And the original implied nude also goes for more money than it should. And it's not even close to being as revealing as the Batman image. So in the case of Batman Damn number 1, the editor should receive a severe reprimand. You don't need a porn conspiracy to sell Batman. He's the best, most popular character ever created in comics. This was unnecessary. The controversy wound up overshadowing a tremendous Batman story. And that's a shame, really. Before we get to number 1, let's go over some honorable mentions, shall we? Music, please. The Weatherman number 1 from Image Comics. A weatherman on the colonized planet of Mars is accused of a terrorist attack that kills millions back on Earth, so he has to go on the run. Mera, Queen of Atlantis number 1 from DC Comics. Spinning off from the pages of Aquaman, this is his queen in her first solo adventure. Xerxes number 1 from Dark Horse Comics from Frank Miller. This is a continuation of the critically acclaimed comic 300. Of course, the movie was awesome. Oblivion Song number 1 from Image Comics. This is from Robert Kirkman, the creator of The Walking Dead. The story of a man who's trying to help people escape what used to be Philadelphia. Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur number 32. This is the first appearance of Princess Fisk, the bratty, entitled daughter of the Kingpin. Moon Girl is being developed for her own animated series in the future. Harbinger Wars 2 number 1 from Valiant Comics. This is a continuation of the events from Harbinger Wars number 1 from 2013. It guest stars Bloodshot, who will be getting his own live-action movie in 2020 starring Vin Diesel. Rags number 1, originally self-published but picked up by Antarctic Press. It's a story of a female Marine that has to survive after the zombie apocalypse. But along the way, she just can't seem to find any pants. It's a hilarious dark comedy spoof on the zombie genre. Spider-Gwen is Ghost Spider number 1 from Marvel Comics. The phrase Spider-Gwen was supposed to be just a nickname. This is the setup to make her official name Ghost Spider. Volition number 1 from Aftershock Comics. In the distant future, artificial intelligence is threatened with extinction from a virus called Rust. And this is the story of how they fight back. Tarna number 1 from Heavy Metal Magazine. And yes, they do make comics as well. This mute warrior with the silver hair is their most famous character. She's a cosplay favorite as well. Crowded number 1 from Image Comics. In the near future, a woman is targeted for assassination through a crowdsourcing app called Reaper. So she uses another app to hire a bodyguard to protect her. Descender number 32 from Image Comics. This is the final issue of this sci-fi space adventure. Written by Jeff Lemire and drawn by Dustin Nguyen, it was the winner of multiple Eisners. The Life of Captain Marvel number 1 from Marvel Comics. This is a retelling of the origin of Carol Danvers. It's designed to make the comic more in tune with the origin you'll see in the live-action movie. Farmhand number 1 from Image Comics. This is the offbeat tale of a farmer who grows plug-and-play human organs. This is from Rob Guillory, the co-creator and artist on the critically acclaimed Chew. In Action Comics number 1000 from DC Comics. 2018 was the 80th anniversary of the Man of Steel, the Man of Tomorrow, Superman, first introduced in 1938. That's a tremendous feat to reach 1,000 issues and still going strong. Alright, you seen all the contenders? Now let's get to the number 1 comic of 2018. Number 1. And top of my list is the number 1 comic of 2018. It's Analog number 1 from Image Comics. This is near future dystopian fiction in which a huge data breach on the internet happens and there are no more secrets out there. So the world's most top secret information is transported via courier. And these couriers are called ledgermen. This is the story of one of those carriers, Jack McGinnis. When we're first introduced to Jack, he's being shaken down by some ruffians who want to take his all-important briefcase. He escapes with some help from a lethal assassin, a sniper named Una, who's his on and off again girlfriend. It's a mix of gritty spy action mixed with some dark comedy. Compliments of creator and writer Jerry Duggan, who made a name for himself writing for Deadpool. This title has a very timely premise if you think about the real world and what's going on with WikiLeaks and its founder Julian Assange proving that he can hack anything and distribute it for free on the internet where anyone can see it. The fiction in this title talks about the big doxing of the year 2020, which would be like WikiLeaks times a million. So in the future, it would only make sense to go to the past to put sensitive information on paper and have a human deliver it. And the team of Jerry Duggan writing and David O'Sullivan with the art was the best thing that happened in comics in 2018. Hollywood quickly took notice of this title as well. It's been optioned for a movie with John Wick director Chad Stahelski has been attached to direct. I think they should cast Allstate commercials actor Dean Winters to play the lead. In the comic, Jack McGinnis takes a beating, but he keeps on with his mission, just like the Allstate guy takes a beating, but he keeps coming back. If I was you, I definitely would be getting the best copy I could get of issue number 1, which is the first appearance of Jack McGinnis and a cameo of his girlfriend Una. It's a very timely near future premise, so I could see Hollywood greenlighting this in its real world, so no expensive CGI needed. So you could possibly see this in a movie theater sooner than you think. So I would advise you to invest in this now. As both a reader and a speculator, this is a can't miss title. Alright, that concludes my video for the top 10 comics of 2018. Thanks for watching. After a long hiatus, I'm back making videos full force again. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and share these videos on social media. Feel free to list your own top 10 in the comment section below. I do sell comics on eBay as well. I have 100% feedback, so be sure to check out the store here. I hope your 2019 is off to a great start. I'm excited about all the new titles dropping this year and the comic book movies, the TV shows. I can't wait. I will be reporting on all of them. Until next time, this is Comic Killer 72 for Comic Power saying bye-bye.